Welcome to 108 Gate. We are doing the Sagittarius 2024 February reading, and you just galloped in. So let's just slow 1 second down and get a grasp of what's going on. So we're doing the February 2024 reading. Sagittarius straight away, just like rah. It's like, okay, fantastic. Love this energy. Let's see what it's about. Before that, Sagittarius, we're going to do 3 heart chakra tuning fork chimes. So if you would like to hear it, then just stay with me. If not, you can mute, and then when I start picking up the cards, you'll see that I've started the reading. So for those of you who are wanting to do the tuning fork heart chakra, here we go. So, Sagittarius, the vibe is definitely there's so much to be happy about. There's so much to be joyful about. There's so much working in your favour and going in a direction which you've been hoping for so long. Yet there's this niggling thing that's like there's something that's making you feel a little bit sad when you think about it. And as you're going more so into happiness and more so into things which are working in your favour and for you, you're also feeling the weight of that other niggling thing kind of pulling you down too. And it's not that it's a negative thing. It's kind of like when you have love and you have so many things working in your favour and going in your favour that you want to, it's like you want to share it with everyone. You want to it's like you want to sing it from the rooftops, as you want to say it to more people, but there's a particular person or a particular people that you aren't able to share something significant with, and that's making you a bit sad. I don't want to assume anything about it, but it could be that you're remembering someone who's passed, or you're remembering someone who's they've either moved away, or your life path has just gone in a different direction. So there's certain things about this that they're great because things are going well, and you know they'd be so proud of you. You know that they'll be so chuffed for you and really genuinely sincerely pleased for you. But there's something that's stopping you from communicating this with them, or they're stopping you from letting them know how well you're doing or how great things are feeling. And there's a sadness excuse me. There's something stopping you from speaking. There's a sadness around this communication. Interesting. Right, let's just take a sip of tea. Interesting. So that burst of energy in which you came through was really great. Straight away when I went into the communicating about things, it's like you're choking on your words. You're it's bringing up a lump in your throat. It's making you feel sad, and like I said, it's becoming quite significant, because the more things are going in your favour, the more you want to communicate about this with a particular person or a particular group. It's like you want to celebrate the progress that's happened. You want to celebrate the new things that are coming in. You want to celebrate how far you've come. Let us know in the comments if this is resonating. This is a really sweet energy. Courage. So having the courage to move forward from this. What that means is going to be different for all of you, obviously, if it's resonating. There's certain things that you have to just let go of, and this holding on to it is requiring some courage to let go of it. It's no longer. So the courage it takes now for you to let go of it is quite significant, because you're needing to understand that there's some things that you can't have both directions. So for example, you need to go that way, but the thing is you got to go that way. You've already gone that way, and then something that you've left behind is going further and further away from you, and it is bringing in quite a significant energy of sadness, a significant energy of distress on some level. Let's just try and get some well, okay. It is bringing in some conflict because you're distracted. It's bringing in some conflict because your mind is somewhere else. Your emotions are attached somewhere else. Your emotions are distracted somewhere else. Your emotions are feeling quite raw. From what you moved away from what you walked away from. Wow. Okay, this is taking a second, taking a moment. It's like the bittersweet thing. So things are going well, they're in your favor, they're going towards where you would have wanted them to go to, yet there's something that it's like a big gaping hole, and the more you're going in the correct direction for you, the more this gap is just feeling bigger and bigger, and it's creating more and more emotional discontent. At the moment, it doesn't feel like there's a solution to this. At the moment, there's a reason why you are feeling this discontent. There's a reason for this gap. There's a reason for the consequences of your actions kind of showing up, if that resonates. If not, then I'd happily say let it go, because it's quite a deep, painful thing. Some of it is you've brought on yourself. There you go. Oh, Sagittarius. In your January reading, you had this kind of vibe going on of missing someone. There's something that you were wanting to get in touch with, or wanting to get in touch with someone, and it felt like you're not able to. That hole, it just feels like such a deep sadness. And like I said, it could be a lost lover. It could be that you've lost a friend, or you've lost something very precious to you, very important to you, and you don't quite know how to get it back. You don't quite know how to move on from it, or move on with the acceptance of what's happened. So it is saying that the courage is required, and you've got to communicate from this place of courage. What you're communicating, who you're communicating to, is not quite understood. Are you communicating to yourself? So King of Swords coming in, bringing in that clarity of what you've got to do. You have to, now I'm seeing that with the Tower, I'm seeing that you've got to admit to yourself where you may have let yourself down in the past. Some things are inevitable. This is going to be difficult to say, and it might even be more difficult to hear by those of you who are resonating with this on any level. Sometimes we end up in situations, people end up in situations which they know they're not able to sustain what is happening at that time. Yet there's a deep part of them. So I really wish that could work out. I really want this. I really want this. But at the same time, you know, because you have the courage, because you had the courage, I can't stay with this. I have to walk away from it. Whoever it is for, so I have to walk away from it because I can't give what I need to give. I have to walk away from it because they can't give me what I need. Oh well. Right, so if we put it here, the what's happened is bringing distress. I'm thinking, well, should we move it over here? And then you've walked away from something into distress. So either way, the consequences of your actions have led to some difficult outcome for yourself. And like I said, over here it felt like there's some energy of you've kind of done it to yourself. So instead of at the moment, it feels like you just need to do a lot of healing. You need to start talking to yourself about what happened, and truthfully about how you felt about certain things. Why did you walk away? Why did you feel that you didn't have enough? Why was it that you weren't ready at that time? We just had one fly out. Look at that. So at that point, so it does feel like it could be a relationship. It could be a partnership. It could be a friendship. It does feel like there's two significant people, and I don't usually go to the external like this, but when it comes in really strong, and it's coming in strong. So there's someone you walked away from or someone who had to walk away from you because the conditions, the circumstances were just wrong. They just weren't adding up. They just weren't suitable. It's like feeling like the correct person but at the wrong time. Wow, that's making me cry. It's going to make me cry. Because the indications of this is it could have been multiple lifetimes. It could have been, wow. The cards are just wanting to fly out. Let me just get this, sorry. It was multiple things that were happening. So when something ended, you had to go within yourself. And you were contemplating this love that you felt, this love that you've been harbouring in your heart, and you can't express it. You don't know how to express it now. It's as though you've put yourself in a position where it's not correct to express it. You should have expressed it at a particular time to a particular person, and you didn't. So now you're dealing with the consequences of it. When you see left something, came to an end, now you're stuck within certain aspects of yourself. You want to express this love, you need to express this love, but you don't quite know how now. It's like it's gone, your opportunity has gone, the wheel has turned. Now this is an example of when I say to some people, doesn't matter if it's personal readings or if it's Reiki sessions or whatever sessions it is, hypnotherapy sessions, that when you're in a particular place and we have to make certain decisions in our life, we sometimes underestimate the impact of the choices that we make. So when we say to ourselves, when we can feel and sense that this is, it's just a decision to make, and we just kind of make the decision willy-nilly, the impact of it has actually made such a profound shift and change in the trajectory of your life that you may be still hurting significantly. You may still be feeling that you've made the wrong choice, you've gone in the wrong direction. But the thing is, it's a matter of like, how do I come back from that now? And this feels like there's a few stages before you get into how do I come back from that now? Because you've gone so far away from where your heart was. You've gone so far away from where you wanted to be going, because you didn't quite see the impact of your behaviour. You didn't quite see that if I do this, this is where it's going to end up. So when I felt the reading open up for you, Sagittarius, and it was like whoosh, the energy was just so fast and like very vivacious. But the thing was, I could also feel like this is just like so impactful that it kind of, whoa, Tiger, just slow down a second. What is actually going on here? What are you actually creating in this fast-paced manner? So when you're walking away from certain things and creating yourself that burden, you're creating yourself that thing of like just stuck in that loop. How are you going to get yourself out of this situation of the Nine of Swords? How are you going to shift it and change it to understand that, you know what, it is what it is, and now I have to accept the consequences. Right. So there was a certain element around security. You may have thought that what you were seeing before, what was presenting itself before, was not going to give you the security that you wanted. It was not going to give you the security you needed, and you therefore weren't providing an opportunity to also be security for the other side either. Now, whatever it is, a project or a person, it feels more so, those of you who are resonating with this, it's a relationship. You were unwilling and unable to stop and think about, well, hang on a second, where am I actually providing security for the other person? Where am I providing that safe space for the other person? I came in, bouncing in like Tigger, and basically like, this is how I want it, you're not it, because it's not enough, you're not giving me this, you're not giving me that, you're not giving me that, therefore I'm going to go in my own direction, off in my own way. And now it's kind of like, wow, what have I done? because what is coming up now is you may be seeing evidence of the very thing that you thought was not able to provide you with security is now possibly providing security for someone else, for something else, or for themselves. Therefore, your lack of faith in them, your lack of trust in their ability, your lack of just taking a moment to assess a situation appropriately may be putting you in an awkward situation now. This is very difficult reading for me to actually do, so please, I'm the messenger, not the I'm not doing this. I'm just saying this is the message. So now, this security that you're seeing literally from a distance, you want a piece of that pie, but you've got yourself in a situation. You may be in another relationship, you may be in another situation, you may be in another you're in another context, you may have moved so far, or that other person may be in a relationship, whatever it is, it may be both. You've kind of cut yourself out of that equation. You've cut yourself out from the option. It is no longer an option for you. For some reason, you can't bear this easily. You're not able to accept this on some level, and you're feeling like the very thing that was not secure for you is the actual way that you would have got the security that you wanted. You weren't ready for it then, and somewhere, shape or form, that is making you feel uncomfortable with yourself, it's making you feel uncomfortable with the situation, it's making you feel uncomfortable and unable to appreciate what is in front of you now. So it's about not making the same mistake again. Knight of Swords, beginning to understand that you look at what you have now, look at what you have built, that thing you wanted to celebrate and show that other person. What is it? Why don't you feel that contentment in celebrating yourself? Why don't you feel that contentment of knowing that if you had shared this with someone else, it does feel like a particular person, that they would have genuinely, sincerely loved you so much and been happy for you so much, that kind of love, that kind of appreciation, it's a very, very, very rare thing. So instead of missing it because it's no longer there, looking at it as in your blessing that you had experienced it in the first place. Because right now there isn't any other turning point coming available. So it's like if you've taken them, you should have taken this turn off this road, but you haven't, and now you have to go like 300 miles further before you can take a next turn off. That 300 miles is going to be very difficult and painstaking to drive if you don't just take the time to think about, you know what, I didn't take that turn, but at the same time, I'm so glad. I know that was there waiting for me, that I had the opportunity to have that. I had the chance to experience that. I had that expression of love and that exchange of love. It happened. I didn't take the turn to keep on to that adventure. I didn't take the opportunity to stay on that path. I've taken a new path now. I accept I'm on a new path, and so be it. Because the time it's taken you to course correct is too late, because it's already moved on. The opportunity's already moved on. So now it's about you seeing where you are now, making sure you appreciate where you are now, and make the most of what you got now. I'm going to just stop saying stuff now, because it's build from there. See where you are now and build from there. See the blessings in where you are now and build from there. You haven't lost anything, essentially. I know it's going to be difficult to hear. It's going to be difficult to kind of compute if there's something that's really precious to you and you're pining over it and you're missing it so much that it's going to be like, well, I'm never going to get something the same as that. No, you're not. But at the same time, you have the privilege, you have the wealth of knowing that it existed in your life, that you had that exchange at some point in your life that was so precious. Some people don't even get that. Some people never have it once. Never mind that and then some. Rejuvenate. Reawaken and then stand stronger. Like, you can't make this up. It could have been any one of those cards. Reawaken and stand stronger. Accept the choices you've made. Accept the choices and the directions in which you went. From that point, this is where you are now. Where are you building from now? Revel in that fact that you've had such a deep, loving exchange with someone. And yes, it's maybe gone now. It may be over now. It's the grieving process possibly that you need to do. We don't know. Only you can know. Have you grieved it properly? Are you still holding on to it and therefore creating a certain pain for yourself? Ground. The beginning is where you need to be, right there. In this new space that you've created for yourself, no longer in the past, no longer in the regret, no longer in the pining for something. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like that pining for something that's gone now. It may be that it's something for the next lifetime, if that's what you believe in. It may be that for this time, you let it go. You've got to accept it's gone. That's a really difficult reading. I had the feeling it would be once that boom came in. It's like, whoa, right, slow right down, because this is a lot of high vibe energy that's gonna, it can't sustain itself up there. So for personal readings, 108gate@gmail.com. I will be doing the Pluto into Aquarius readings for each house. So if you're interested in that, it will be after all I've done all of the February 2024 readings. Hit that bell, subscribe so you can get those. And I do daily readings for divine feminine, divine masculine. You're in a divine feminine, divine masculine reading with tuning forks most of the time when it's appropriate. So if you like that type of stuff too, you can subscribe, hit the bell, welcome. And also there are in the works guided meditations coming in, which will be quite powerful. Should we just say that? Again, it's in the process. I've just got a lot going on in a good way. It's just there's only one of me trying to get all this up and running for you. So those of you who are not wanting to do the tuning fork, see you soon. Peace and love. Those of you who wanted to do the tuning fork, heart chakra, here we go. Sagittarius, for now, peace and love.